In this video, we're going to cover example 2, part C in our mid-segment notes of chapter 5. So let's go ahead and get started. So we can see here that we have a trapezoid. I know it's a trapezoid because this one pair of opposite sides are parallel, and it should be indicated somewhere that this segment across the middle is a mid-segment, so it would connect the midpoints. So somewhere we should have that either it's a mid-segment or that these are congruent. So let's go ahead and mark that. And we know that if we draw in a mid-segment of a trapezoid, that it has to be parallel to the bases. So all three of these segments are going to be parallel. And what we see now is that it creates some special angles formed by parallel lines. So I have this angle here and this angle here, and we can see that those are a pair of corresponding angles, and we know that if the lines are parallel, the corresponding angles are congruent. So B is also going to be 120 degrees. And then these are same side interior angles, okay? And since my mid-segment and my upper base are parallel, these are going to be supplementary. So I know that A is going to be 180 minus 120. So that those are supplementary. So that gives us A and B. Let's move on to X. X is the lower base of this trapezoid. And we know that the mid-segment is the average of the two bases. So if I wanted to find the average of the bases, I would add them up. X plus 41 and divide by 2, and we know that would have to equal 29. So let's go ahead and solve that. So I'm going to multiply this side by 2, and I'm going to multiply this side by 2 so that those cancel out. And I have X plus 41 is equal to 58. And if I subtract 41 from both sides, I get that X is 17. All right, moving on to Y. This is one of the legs of my trapezoid. Since this piece of the leg is 11, I know the other piece has to also be 11. And then lastly, we have Z. Z is half of the other leg, so since this leg is 13, half of it has to be 6.5. All right, so maybe you want to rewatch that and listen carefully for the different properties of the trapezoid and parallel lines that I used to solve it. And make sure you get your questions answered. We'll see you in the next video.